Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that every step you take, every struggle you face, every success you achieve is guided by something far greater than ourselves? Imagine a force so powerful that it can calm your fears, ease your doubts, and inspire you to live boldly without apology. That force, my friends, is the power of believing in God. This belief, this faith isn't just an idea, it's the difference maker. It's what pushes you forward when life tries to knock you down. And by the time we're done today, I promise you, you'll understand why this faith is the key to unlocking the life you were meant to live. Believing in God isn't about perfect attendance at church or following a set of rules. It's about developing a real personal relationship with Him. It's about feeling that quiet voice within you that says, I've got you. Trust in me. This belief becomes a guiding star, one that doesn't dim in the darkest of times, but shines even brighter, leading you towards something better, even when you can't see it clearly yet. Believing in God as the foundation of our lives is a powerful concept that often goes beyond simple faith. It's about laying down a base so solid that no storm can shake it, no trial can break it, and no doubt can penetrate it. Imagine building a house which stands the test of time is not the roof or the walls, but the foundation on which the whole structure rests. And for those who believe in God, faith is that foundation. It grounds every part of life, offering stability, resilience, and direction when the world around us is unpredictable. When you place your belief in God, you're anchoring yourself to something eternal. Life is full of uncertainties, full of moments that push us to our limits, times that make us question our worth or wonder if we're even on the right path. But faith in God provides a steady presence that never wavers. It reminds us that no matter how heavy the burdens or how fierce the battles, we are not alone. Belief in God isn't about the absence of difficulty, it's about finding strength in the midst of it. It's about knowing that there is a purpose in every season and that each struggle is preparing us for something greater. Faith in God changes how we approach challenges. In a world that often emphasizes self-reliance, believing in God teaches us a different kind of strength, one that relies not on our own limited abilities, but on an infinite power. When we make God our foundation, we are able to walk into any situation, any challenge, knowing that we are supported by a power far greater than ourselves. This belief doesn't make us immune to hardship, but it gives us the resilience to endure it. It shapes how we respond to setbacks and how we view the trials in our lives. Instead of succumbing to fear or doubt, we're reminded that these challenges are temporary and that with God as our foundation, we have the strength to persevere. Faith also offers a unique sense of purpose and identity. Without a foundation, life can feel random or meaningless. But when we believe in God, we begin to see ourselves as part of a larger plan. We start to understand that our lives are not just a series of disconnected events, but a journey with a purpose. This perspective changes everything. It gives us direction, clarity, and a reason to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. We begin to view each day, each interaction, and each decision as a step towards fulfilling a greater purpose. And when life gets difficult, this sense of purpose helps us stay grounded. It reminds us that there is something bigger at work, that every step we take is part of a divine plan. Belief in God as our foundation also provides comfort. It is a source of peace that the world cannot give. When storms arise, when we feel lost, belief in God is like a safe harbor. It's a place where we can find rest and reassurance, a place that reminds us that we are loved, valued, and protected. This comfort doesn't mean that we won't face struggles, but it means that we don't have to face them alone. It means that we have a constant source of strength and support, a presence that is always with us, guiding us and holding us up. Faith in God helps us build resilience, a quality that is essential in life. Resilience is the ability to get back up after being knocked down, to keep going even when things are difficult. And when God is your foundation, you become resilient in a way that is deeply rooted. You learn to rise again and again, not just because of your own strength, but because you trust in God's strength. You start to see each challenge not as a setback, but as an opportunity to grow, to strengthen your faith, and to rely even more on God. Believing in God as your foundation also means embracing hope. This hope is not based on circumstances or on what we see around us, but on the unchanging nature of God. It is a hope that remains even when life is uncertain. It is a hope that fuels us to keep going, to keep believing, to keep striving, knowing that God has a purpose for every season and that He is always working for our good. This hope is powerful, and it's something that nothing in this world can take away. Making God your foundation transforms every aspect of your life. It shapes how you see yourself, how you interact with others, and how you approach the future. It grounds you, giving you the strength to stand firm no matter what comes your way. With God as your foundation, you have everything you need to build a life of purpose, resilience, and hope. You become unshakable, not because life is easy, but because you know that no matter what happens, you are standing on a foundation that cannot be moved. Strength and uncertainty is one of the greatest gifts that faith in God brings into our lives. It's a powerful reminder that even when we face unknowns or navigate difficult paths, we are not left to find our way alone. Life is unpredictable, and uncertainty is a constant. We encounter it in our careers, relationships, health, and even in our sense of identity. But believing in God offers a unique, profound strength that shines through these times of doubt and confusion. This belief is like a steady light, guiding us forward, especially when we cannot see the full picture or predict the outcome. It becomes a source of courage, urging us to step forward even when we're not entirely sure what lies ahead. When we're uncertain, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by fear or paralyzed by doubt. The human mind craves control, and when faced with situations we can't fully understand or influence, that lack of control can feel deeply unsettling. Yet, when we believe in God, we're invited to release that need for control and to surrender to a wisdom greater than our own. This doesn't mean passively giving up, but actively trusting that there's a purpose unfolding, even if we don't fully comprehend it at the moment. This trust is liberating because it allows us to move forward with a sense of peace, knowing that we don't have to have all the answers to take the next step. Faith in God transforms our perspective on uncertainty itself. Instead of viewing it as a void or a frightening place, we start to see it as an opportunity to grow, to lean on God's strength, and to deepen our own resilience. Uncertainty can be a teacher, and faith is what allows us to listen and learn from it. When we face the unknown with a heart anchored in belief, we begin to discover parts of ourselves we didn't know existed, strengths we hadn't tapped into, wisdom we didn't realize we possessed, and courage we thought was beyond us. These qualities often come to the surface only when we're challenged to step out of our comfort zones and rely on something beyond our own understanding. In many ways, faith in God acts as a compass during times of uncertainty. When we're unsure of the path ahead, it's easy to lose direction, to feel like we're wandering aimlessly. But with faith, there's an inner compass that guides us, reminding us that there is a purpose even in the detours. It helps us find meaning in the moments when we feel lost or uncertain, reassuring us that no experience is wasted and that every challenge is shaping us in ways we might not yet understand. This perspective transforms uncertainty from something to fear into something to embrace, knowing that each step, no matter how unclear, is part of a larger journey. Faith also grants us the courage to make decisions in the face of uncertainty. Often, fear of the unknown can hold us back, preventing us from pursuing our dreams or stepping into opportunities that we know could transform our lives. But when we believe that God is guiding us, we're empowered to take risks, to move forward even without a clear map of what lies ahead. We learn that we don't need to have every detail figured out before taking that first step. Faith becomes a shield against doubt, giving us the courage to pursue our dreams and trust that we are supported in our journey. Believing in God during uncertain times also gives us a profound sense of peace, a peace that is not dependent on circumstances. This peace comes from the assurance that God's plans for us are good, that there is a purpose behind the things we don't understand, and that we are never truly lost. It's a peace that allows us to rest even when life feels chaotic. This sense of calm doesn't mean that we don't experience worry or frustration, but it gives us the strength to return to a place of trust, knowing that God is working in our lives even when we can't see it. Faith in the midst of uncertainty is a powerful reminder of our inner resilience. Every time we face the unknown with belief, we strengthen our ability to navigate future challenges with even greater confidence. It teaches us patience, reminding us that life's timing is not always our own, but that waiting can be as valuable as moving. This patience allows us to grow in humility and trust as we learn to let go of our own plans and surrender to a journey that is larger than ourselves. In these moments, we are reminded that faith is not about having all the answers, but about trusting in the one who does. Finding strength in uncertainty through belief in God redefines our understanding of security. True security doesn't come from certainty in circumstances, but from a deep-rooted confidence that no matter where life takes us, we are held in love, purpose, and grace. This kind of faith frees us from the need to predict or control everything, encouraging us to live fully even in the unknown. With faith as our foundation, uncertainty loses its power over us. Instead of being paralyzed by what we don't know, we are motivated by what we do know, that we are guided, that there is meaning in every step, and that with God by our side, we are capable of facing anything that comes our way. Believing in God gives us a purpose, a deeper meaning that drives our actions, shapes our thoughts, and forms our lives in ways that transcend the ordinary. Purpose is something every human being craves. It's the driving force that propels us forward and makes life worth living. Yet, in a world that often measures success by material achievements or social approval, it's easy to feel lost or disconnected from a deeper purpose. But when we turn to faith in God, we find a purpose that is enduring, something that doesn't shift with trends, doesn't fade with setbacks, and doesn't falter when life gets hard. This purpose becomes our guiding light, shaping not only what we do, but also who we are. A purpose rooted in belief in God gives us clarity. It provides a foundation that grounds us in the knowledge that our lives are part of a larger design, that each moment has significance, and that every challenge is an opportunity to grow in ways we may not immediately see. When we align our actions and intentions with our faith, we gain a sense of clarity that goes beyond what the world can offer. We no longer find ourselves tossed by every distraction or meaningless pursuit. Instead, we become focused, intentional, driven by a purpose that holds meaning and value. This purpose fuels our desire to serve, to contribute, and to make a difference in ways that honor God's work in our lives. Purpose derived from faith also teaches us resilience. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and challenges that often make us question our path. But when we know that our purpose is rooted in something greater, we're able to persevere with courage and determination. Believing in God doesn't mean we won't face difficulties. It means we know those difficulties are part of a larger plan. This perspective turns hardships into stepping stones, allowing us to rise above adversity and become stronger through each experience. With faith as our foundation, we come to see that challenges aren't roadblocks, but opportunities to refine our character, to deepen our faith, and to grow into the people we are meant to be. When we have purpose through faith, our lives gain a sense of direction. Many people spend years drifting, searching for something to give them a reason to wake up each morning with energy and enthusiasm. But faith in God provides that direction, guiding our steps and giving us a reason to live with intention. This purpose encourages us to pursue goals and dreams that align with our values, that serve others, and that ultimately contribute to the greater good. It gives us a sense of responsibility, reminding us that our lives have meaning not only for ourselves, but also for those around us. We start to see our roles, our talents, and our abilities as gifts to be used for a purpose that extends beyond our own personal gain. Faith in God also brings fulfillment to our purpose. Without faith, even the greatest achievements can feel hollow, lacking in depth and meaning. But when our actions are guided by a belief in God, we find a fulfillment that goes beyond temporary satisfaction. We are no longer chasing success for the sake of external validation or material rewards. Instead, we're driven by a desire to live a life that reflects our values, honors our faith, and contributes to the lives of others. This fulfillment gives us peace, contentment, and joy that cannot be taken away no matter the circumstances. We realize that success is not measured by the world's standards, but by how faithfully we live out our purpose each day. This faith-driven purpose also fosters compassion. When we believe in God, we begin to see ourselves as part of a greater whole, connected to others in ways that make us responsible for our actions and how they affect those around us. This belief encourages us to act with kindness, empathy, and understanding, recognizing that each person has their own struggles, hopes, and dreams. Our purpose becomes not only about fulfilling our own potential, but also about lifting others up, offering support, and spreading love. Faith transforms our perspective from a self-centered focus to a broader vision that seeks to serve, to heal, and to inspire. Believing in God gives us purpose by grounding us in values that stand the test of time. In a world that often celebrates short-lived achievements, faith reminds us of the importance of integrity, humility, and service. We start to value qualities that bring true joy and fulfillment, rather than those that simply impress others or boost our egos. This purpose encourages us to build a legacy that is meaningful and lasting, to invest in relationships that uplift, and to live in a way that reflects our highest values. When we know that our lives have meaning in the eyes of God, we are motivated to act in ways that honor that gift, to make the most of our time, and to leave a positive impact on the world. Purpose through faith gives us hope. It reassures us that no matter how difficult life becomes, there is meaning in every moment, that our lives have significance, and that we are not alone in our journey. This hope sustains us in times of struggle, reminds us of our potential in times of doubt, and brings light to moments that may otherwise feel dark. With faith, purpose becomes not just a concept, but a reality we live out every day. It fills our lives with meaning, direction, and fulfillment, giving us the strength to keep going, the courage to dream big, and the motivation to make each day count. Believing in God isn't just about having faith, it's about living with a purpose that transcends the temporary and connects us to something eternal. Belief in God provides peace amid life's most intense storms and challenges. This peace is not a mere absence of trouble, but a deep-rooted assurance that carries us through every trial, every setback, and every uncertainty we face. Life is full of unpredictable moments: the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, sudden illness, or unexpected news that shakes our world. In these moments, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and fearful. But when we believe in God, we find a peace that goes beyond our circumstances, a peace that offers us comfort and strength, even in the face of life's most daunting struggles. This peace comes from the knowledge that we are not alone, that God is with us, guiding us and walking beside us every step of the way. Even when we feel isolated, misunderstood, or abandoned, our faith reminds us that we are always held by God's love and grace. This assurance gives us a sense of security, allowing us to face life's challenges with courage instead of fear. Rather than being consumed by worry or anxiety, we can lean into this peace, knowing that God is in control and that there is a purpose in every struggle, even if we cannot see it in the moment. This perspective shifts our focus from what's wrong in our lives to the strength and support we receive through our faith. Belief in God doesn't mean we won't feel pain or experience hardships. Rather, it means we have a source of peace to turn to when those moments come. The peace of faith is a steady, quiet strength, something that grounds us and helps us remain calm and centered, even when everything around us feels chaotic. Instead of reacting to challenges with panic, we can respond with patience, trusting that God will guide us through. This peace allows us to pause, reflect, and approach each situation with a calm mind, helping us make wiser decisions and avoid actions driven by fear or desperation. It reminds us that we don't have to have all the answers right away. We simply need to trust in the journey and take it one step at a time. One of the profound aspects of this peace is that it grows stronger in times of difficulty. It is often in our darkest hours, when we feel as if we have nowhere else to turn, that God's peace becomes most apparent. These are the moments when we come to understand that true peace isn't dependent on external circumstances. It is an inner assurance that transcends them. This peace teaches us resilience, helping us develop a stronger faith and a deeper trust in God's presence in our lives. It encourages us to keep going, to keep hoping, and to keep believing even when we face setbacks or disappointments. Each struggle becomes an opportunity to lean more fully on God, to strengthen our faith, and to grow in ways we may not have expected. This peace also transforms our perspective on suffering. Rather than viewing challenges as mere obstacles, we begin to see them as opportunities for growth, for greater understanding, and for deepening our relationship with God. Through faith, we understand that suffering is part of the human experience, and while it is painful, it can also be purposeful. When we believe that God is with us, we start to see our hardships as a means of developing compassion, patience, and wisdom. We learn to trust that every difficult season will ultimately lead to something greater, that there is a lesson in every hardship and a purpose in every struggle. This mindset frees us from bitterness and resentment, allowing us to find peace even in the midst of pain. Belief in God also gives us peace in our relationships. When we understand that God's love is the foundation of our lives, we become more forgiving, more compassionate, and more understanding toward others. We are less likely to hold on to anger or grudges, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges. This peace allows us to let go of the need to control others or force outcomes. Instead, we can trust that God is working in their lives as well, just as He is in ours. This understanding brings harmony to our relationships, creating space for acceptance, kindness, and love to flourish. This peace is also a source of hope. It reminds us that no matter what we face today, tomorrow is a new opportunity, and God's love is constant. This hope keeps us grounded, helping us look beyond our immediate circumstances and trust in a brighter future. We start to see each day as a gift, a chance to learn, grow, and become more resilient. Instead of focusing on our fears, we are encouraged to focus on our faith, to keep believing in the goodness of God's plan, and to rest in the assurance that everything will work out according to His timing. This hope brings a joy that cannot be shaken by life's ups and downs. It allows us to find moments of beauty and gratitude even in difficult seasons. Belief in God provides a peace that shapes every aspect of our lives. It gives us strength when we feel weak, hope when we feel hopeless, and courage when we feel afraid. It reminds us that we are part of something greater, that our lives have purpose, and that we are loved beyond measure. This peace is a gift that we carry with us each day, a source of comfort and assurance that sustains us through all of life's challenges. It allows us to live with confidence, to embrace each moment, and to face each challenge with a calm heart and a steady mind. With this peace, we can navigate life's storms without losing our way, trusting that God's love will guide us safely through every difficulty we encounter. Believing in God provides an unwavering strength that sustains us when life's trials seem insurmountable. This strength is not just physical or mental, but a profound spiritual resilience that grounds us in the face of challenges and empowers us to rise above our circumstances. Life, as we know, is filled with moments that test our resolve, from the loss of loved ones to financial difficulties, to moments of self-doubt. Yet, in these moments of vulnerability, belief in God transforms fear into faith, worry into wisdom, and despair into determination. This strength is like a deeply rooted tree that withstands storms because its foundation is solid. It isn't moved by temporary winds. In the same way, belief in God provides us with a firm foundation, allowing us to stand strong no matter what life brings. This divine strength is drawn from knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. Faith in God brings an awareness of His presence and support, creating an inner courage that doesn't depend on external validation or circumstances. While other sources of strength may ebb and flow, the strength from belief in God is constant, always accessible and available to us, even when everything else seems to fall apart. It is the kind of strength that allows us to face our fears head on, to keep moving forward, even when we don't know what's next, and to trust that there is a purpose behind every obstacle. With this strength, we find that we are capable of enduring more than we thought possible, discovering new depths of resilience within ourselves. Believing in God doesn't mean we won't feel pain or encounter hardship, but it does mean we have a source of power to rely on in our weakest moments. When life feels overwhelming, when we are tempted to give up, faith reminds us that we are stronger than our circumstances because we have the support of something far greater. This strength helps us push through the darkest nights, reminding us that dawn is always on the horizon. We come to understand that challenges are not meant to defeat us, but to help us grow, to reveal the power and perseverance within us that we may not have known we possessed. Each struggle becomes a testament to God's strength working through us, showing us that we can overcome obstacles not by our own might alone, but by the divine support that accompanies us. This strength also builds our confidence and resilience. When we believe in God, we are not paralyzed by the fear of failure because we understand that every experience is a part of our journey. We realize that setbacks are temporary and that they do not define our worth or our future. This resilience allows us to take risks, to pursue our dreams, and to remain hopeful even in the face of rejection or disappointment. Knowing that God is with us gives us the courage to stand back up when we fall, to keep going when others might quit, and to trust that every hardship is a stepping stone towards something greater. Each time we lean on this strength, our confidence grows not in our own limited abilities, but in the limitless support that God provides. This strength also fosters a deep sense of compassion and empathy. Believing in God reminds us that everyone is on a journey, each person facing their own battles. When we draw strength from our faith, we are better able to offer kindness and support to others, recognizing that they too may be struggling. This perspective encourages us to be a source of strength for those around us, to lift others up as we have been lifted by our faith. We become more patient, more understanding, and more willing to lend a helping hand. Our faith not only sustains us, but empowers us to become a beacon of hope and encouragement for others, showing them that they too can find strength in God. Belief in God grants us the wisdom to see beyond the present moment. In times of struggle, it's easy to become consumed by the immediate problem, losing sight of the bigger picture. But faith reminds us that there is more to life than our current hardships. This perspective provides us with the strength to endure because we know that every season has its purpose, every challenge its lesson, and every difficulty its reward. We become able to face life's trials with patience and perseverance, trusting that God's plan is unfolding in ways we may not yet understand. This wisdom, born of faith, gives us the endurance to keep moving forward, knowing that better days lie ahead and that each trial will ultimately lead to growth, wisdom, and purpose. Believing in God also gives us a sense of purpose that enhances our strength. When we understand that our lives have meaning, that we are part of a greater design, we are motivated to overcome obstacles, not just for ourselves, but for the impact we are meant to make. This purpose drives us to push past our limits, to reach new heights, and to grow into the people we are meant to be. Every hardship becomes an opportunity to strengthen our character, to develop resilience, and to become a reflection of God's love and power in the world. This purpose-driven strength transforms our outlook, encouraging us to see every challenge as a chapter in our story, one that will ultimately lead to a greater understanding of ourselves and of God's presence in our lives. In the end, the strength that comes from believing in God is a powerful, sustaining force that enables us to live fully even in the face of adversity. It is a strength that doesn't waver with circumstances, doesn't fade with time, and doesn't depend on our own limited abilities. It is a divine strength, a gift that empowers us to overcome, to persevere, and to live with courage and hope. Through faith, we discover that we are capable of enduring and overcoming more than we could have imagined, not by our own might, but by the support and presence of God in our lives. This strength is what allows us to walk through life with confidence, with peace, and with an unwavering belief that no matter what comes our way, we will emerge stronger, wiser, and closer to the purpose God has for us. Believing in God cultivates a life anchored in gratitude, transforming the way we view ourselves, others, and our circumstances. Gratitude and faith is not just about being thankful for the good things that happen to us. It's a deep-seated recognition that no matter the situation, there is something valuable in every moment of life. When we believe in God, we come to understand that life is a precious gift, each day filled with opportunities for growth, love, and learning. This perspective shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a heart full of appreciation and contentment. Gratitude becomes our natural response to both the blessings and the challenges in our lives, as we trust that each experience has a purpose and that God's hand is guiding us through it all. This faith-driven gratitude allows us to see the beauty in the ordinary moments we often take for granted. Simple things like a beautiful sunrise, a shared meal with loved ones, or a kind word from a stranger become sources of joy and thankfulness when we view them as gifts from God. Instead of focusing on what we don't have or constantly seeking more, we begin to recognize the richness of what already surrounds us. This mindset not only brings us joy, but also contentment, helping us feel fulfilled in the present rather than chasing an endless list of wants and desires. Gratitude reminds us that God has already provided for us in ways we might not always notice, and that there is abundance in every season of life if we choose to see it. Belief in God also helps us to see our challenges through the lens of gratitude. While it may seem difficult to be thankful for hardships, faith teaches us that even our struggles have value and purpose. When we believe that God is with us, guiding us through every experience, we begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth and refinement. Each obstacle we face becomes a lesson in patience, strength, and resilience. Instead of feeling defeated, we feel empowered, knowing that every difficulty is a chance to become wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. Gratitude in the midst of hardship is a powerful force. It helps us maintain hope and resilience, knowing that God is working through our struggles to bring us closer to our purpose. This gratitude also extends to our relationships. When we believe in God, we start to see others through the eyes of love and compassion. We recognize that every person we meet is part of God's creation with their own journey, struggles, and strengths. This awareness fosters a sense of appreciation for those around us, helping us to build stronger, more meaningful connections. We become more forgiving, more understanding, and more willing to show kindness because we know that, just as God has blessed us, we are called to be a blessing to others. Instead of focusing on others' flaws or mistakes, we learn to appreciate their unique gifts and value. This approach transforms our interactions, creating a life filled with harmony, understanding, and mutual respect. Faith-filled gratitude also encourages humility. When we believe in God, we understand that our blessings, successes, and talents are gifts rather than entitlements. This realization keeps us grounded, preventing us from becoming prideful or self-centered. We come to understand that everything we have, our health, our abilities, our opportunities, comes from a higher source. This humility encourages us to use our blessings to serve others, to give back, and to be generous. It shifts our focus from accumulating for ourselves to sharing with those in need, recognizing that we are stewards of God's gifts. This sense of responsibility enriches our lives, giving us a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment that comes from knowing we are contributing to something greater than ourselves. Gratitude and faith strengthens our trust in God's timing. Life doesn't always go according to our plans, and sometimes we experience delays, disappointments, or unexpected changes. But when we live with gratitude, we learn to trust that God's timing is perfect. We become more patient and willing to wait, knowing that every season has its purpose and that everything unfolds in God's time. Instead of feeling frustrated or anxious when things don't happen as quickly as we would like, we feel a sense of peace, trusting that God knows what is best for us. This trust allows us to live without constant worry about the future, freeing us to fully embrace the present with gratitude and joy. Believing in God also fills us with gratitude for life's simple blessings. Faith teaches us to appreciate the small moments that often go unnoticed: the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a child, the comfort of a familiar routine. We start to realize that these moments are not small at all, but are the very essence of life. Gratitude opens our eyes to the richness of everyday life, reminding us that happiness doesn't depend on extraordinary events or material possessions, but on a heart that sees beauty in simplicity. This approach to life brings a deep sense of peace and contentment, allowing us to live with a light heart and a joyful spirit. Gratitude inspired by belief in God gives us hope. No matter what challenges we face, gratitude reminds us that there is always something to be thankful for. This hope sustains us during difficult times, lifting our spirits and helping us to persevere. It reminds us that God's love is constant, that each day is a new opportunity, and that there is always light, even in the darkest moments. This hopeful outlook allows us to face each day with optimism, knowing that with God, every challenge can be transformed into a blessing and every setback into a stepping stone toward greater understanding and purpose. In essence, gratitude that stems from belief in God transforms our entire approach to life. It gives us joy in the present, hope for the future, and strength to face any challenge. It deepens our relationships, grounds us in humility, and fills us with purpose. This gratitude becomes a way of living, a daily practice that enhances every aspect of our lives. Through faith, we come to realize that life itself is a gift, and each moment is an opportunity to embrace God's love, share it with others, and appreciate the beauty and blessings that surround us.